My name is Kevin Downs, and on this episode, we're going to cover troubleshooting before trouble starts with infrastructure monitoring. As a DevOps, SRE, or IT ops person, I will look to the New Relic platform to help me proactively troubleshoot my IT infrastructure. I have New Relic open and focused on all entities, where I'm looking at all of my favorite entities. I usually like to start with a high-level view of my application, so let's go to Lookout and see what we can find. Let's select Services, APM, where we're presented with throughput, error rate, and response time for all the applications we're monitoring. On the right-hand side, you can see any deviating services. I see that the web portal application has the largest circle for throughput. Mousing over the circle gives me a little peek into what's happening with that application. Selecting the billing service in the error rate column brings up details on the right-hand side where we can see the error rate spikes. Next, let's dive into infrastructure, see what we can find there, and get proactive. Selecting host and moving to infrastructure allows me to start looking for places where I can improve my infrastructure. Let's use the top filter bar to focus on one specific application, in this case, the billing service application. I notice immediately that one of my hosts has storage usage of 100%. Next, select and view all the hosts so we can analyze more about them. Here we can see all the selected hosts and their golden signals on a graph comparing them. By moving your mouse over each host, you see the related entities on the right-hand side and that host's specific golden signal highlighted within the center column charts. From here, we can see the system, network, process, storage, containers, and logs tabs, where we can further dig into those hosts. While we're looking at the logs for all hosts related to the billing service, let's check for any errors. It's easy to focus on just the hosts with errors. Going back to the Summary tab, we can also change the golden signal reference on the left-hand side. So let's view these hosts with their storage usage % sorted. The infrastructure interface also offers a lot of in-context actions. Selecting See Metadata and Tags brings up a panel on the right-hand side with tags related to this one host. Mousing over the icon on the left-hand side will let you know if this host is in an alert state. Each host is also color-coded, as represented by the color dot. This is also the color for the bar graph in each golden signal chart. Next, let's look at Automap and check out the topology for this specific host. Automap shows us related entities for this host. Here we see that this host is connected to the web portal, as well as the billing, inventory, login, plan, and fulfillment services. Using the controls at the top, we can see the health status and anomalies that we can turn on or off to display as needed. The entity type shows us which ones are services and which ones are hosts, and we can also filter on them. On the right-hand side are more details about this host, from any activity to tags to golden signal metrics and more. Now let's focus on the upper right-hand time warp control. This control represents a 3-hour window where we can scrub back and forth to find out when and what had issues. We can see that an anomaly started in the plan service at 2:19 p.m. and about 11 minutes later went into a critical state. So let's mouse over that service and select it to bring up its details panel. Here we can see that an anomaly was detected and the response time is much different than normal. Let's go back to the main infrastructure host list view and see if we can be proactive in a different way. Let's clear out the filter and continue. Now I'm back to a list that contains all of my hosts. Let's see if we can find any underutilized hosts that we can right size or consolidate. I will filter the CPU golden signal column for any host with a CPU of less than 2%. This reduces the number of hosts that I need to focus on. From here, I will select them all to find out what services or components these hosts are related to. Viewing the selected hosts shows me that most of these hosts are related to the login and web portal services. More than likely, my auto-scaling group is using instances that are very underutilized, and this will be a good place to ensure that I'm not launching instances that are overpowered for my needs. Let's switch gears and go back and reset the table. This time, let's focus on memory utilization. Let's filter all the hosts for those with greater than 80% memory utilization. This leaves us with just one host, but if you look carefully, you'll notice that this host has a CPU utilization below 20%. Let's select it and see what we can find. We see that this host has a warning violation in progress and is related to 2 critical issues with the billing and fulfillment services. Viewing its entity details shows that the warning violation is abnormal memory usage. In any case, finding hosts with high memory and low CPU utilizations might be where you can look at the instance being launched and ensure that it's a memory optimized instance. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Troubleshooting Before Trouble Starts with New Relic Infrastructure Monitoring. Look for other videos from New Relic.